Oh wow, this is really fucked up. Wow. All right. Well, anyway, we're gonna go with it. So yeah, I want to make this video because I was thinking about other women that I knew who hit the wall, man, and I said in previous video like to those younger guys, if you're a younger guy who might be watching this, yeah, like a lot of the girl, like a lot of hot girls you see at 18, 19, 20. A lot of those girls, man, like at max 10 years later, they are going to be so fucked up. Like you won't even piss on fire to put them out, man. Like, cause I just got back. I just ate this lobster dinner. And man, like since I've been back in Ohio, like it's really America's like really sad. Like American women, it's like really sad. Like even just be in this motherfucker, because on the one hand, like they're so used to being worshipped because there's always some loser who's gonna hype her head up and the thing she's worth more than she is. Then on top of that, like the females, like they lose all drive to really better themselves in any way because they could just sell relatively sell pussy to get out. And I'm gonna move over here because this looks like shit. It looks even more like shit than my videos usually look like. But yeah, so yeah, that looks better than it did. So yes, man, I just got back from this fucking dinner, man. Like, ate this little lobster dinner, and my waitress, man, like, okay, well, another thing that I got a problem with American women, and this is just me personally. I'm sure probably other guys in my situation may say the same thing, but like, what the fuck is wrong with black girls here, man? Like, they all got these like either they got these cheap wig weaves on their head and okay, the problem now, my problem with the cheap wig or the cheap weave, like the fake part that made it try to look like it's even more real. Like, it's really sad because okay, I get it, like black women want to have long straight hair because that's what the national fad is with women, is to pretty much like imitate white women. So I don't understand. Okay, now the part that is like so just disjoining, if that's the right word to use, that it fucks up the whole illusion. Is that okay? If a black woman has to have her hair straight, it's not going to be cheap to keep that up because black women's hair just is not meant to be straight. So it's going to be relatively, pretty expensive. And then so okay, so that's already in play in my mind. Okay, like this is an expensive hairdo if it's real, which is probably not, but if it's real. But then they're like wearing like just these cheap clothes that just aren't fitted right, aren't tailored at all for their bodies. Is like or in their clothes has lint all in it. Like it's just like, man, what the fuck? Like you look like a fucking homeless person and just slapped on a fucking dog you found on the side of the street and then walked outside. Like, and like black girls are, and I had a black girl as a waitress, man. She was like trying to be it was just awkward. It's just so awkward, man. Cause like you could see like they kind of want to have an attitude. Okay, because I live in kind of a nicer area. And so you could tell you could tell like they probably live like on the poor side of town. And then they're coming over and they're trying to have like an attitude because it's just, it's just that stereotypical black woman thing of like black girls have attitudes all the time. It's just fucking awkward, man. Like, but I will go into the story on the black girl that I did date, who was fucking my first sexy girlfriend. Um, I remember when I dated her, I was about 25, so I just got back from the military, and she was 20 because she couldn't get in the bars, but she was 20. She couldn't get in them because in America, if you're living in America, you already know. But if you're not in America, you may not know. You had to be 21 before you go to a bar and drink. So she was 20. So what she would do is she would get her older sister's ID and use that. I remember one night we went out and she had got like so fucking drunk. And she was 20. She was not a drinker. She was not a smoker. I mean, like that girl was marriage material for like for various reasons. She was like hitting that, like she was one of them women who would have been in a relatively long-term marriage by the time she was 30. She was one of those. Like she didn't drink, she didn't smoke, she didn't go out to clubs, but she was fucking beautiful. But she also like she just wasn't that type of girl. I mean, she probably, who knows, she probably was fucking some other dude on the side I didn't know about, but like her life habits promoted like a proper, a proper uh spouse, the living spouse. All that promoted that. So I remember we went out one night and she got like a Long Island iced tea. We got like this we all got a picture of a Long Island iced tea. And come to find out, now I've met other people like this. She was one of those type of people who, when she drinks, like, okay, like some people, if they get a certain drink, they just cannot taste the alcohol in it. So they'll just guzzle it. And come to find out, she was one of those people with with Long Island iced teas. She couldn't taste the fucking alcohol. So she just was down in glass after glass. And I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe she does know how to drink. I don't know. And then come to find out, she said she couldn't taste the alcohol. She asked me, was there alcohol in it? Because she was getting dizzy and sleepy and stuff. I was like, yeah, you didn't know that was a Long Island iced tea. I mean, she had guzzled like probably a whole pitcher by herself. And she was no bigger than me. I'm 5'7", 145 pounds soaking wet. And she was smaller than me, with a fat ass too, with a crazy but skinny, but like I'm the ass better than porn stars. I guarantee it. Her ass was naturally on par with like those bitches who get ass injections. But the shit looked fucking incredible. Like it was unbelievable. But man, yeah, she had got so drunk that night, man. Like she had got so drunk, I had to literally carry her out the bar because like she just couldn't walk. She tried to walk, her legs be all the way up here trying to get her balance and like standing straight up. And it was so fucked up. Like I was afraid people was gonna think that I roofied her or something because that's how fucked up she was. And she was scared, asked me what was gonna happen because she's 20. And she, of course, she ended up puking all over the floor that night. She was just done. But but yeah, that was, and the reason I want to talk about her because that was the first girl who I ever. No, let me tell you that. There's another girl who I fucked at one time who was younger than me. She was about probably like 18, 19. And the girl I just told you about, she was 20. Like for me, man, in the day for so to sum up that whole rant, personally, okay, my experience, and the reason I talk about this is for guys like me. I may slip up and slide in a bit of insight that maybe you didn't know, or maybe you already know. I don't know what you know. So like these videos are for men because when I was younger, nobody talked to me like this. So I had to learn like pretty much everything I know on my own in the world as a grown man. But I didn't date women younger than me until I was about like 25. That was when like I like the whole target range went from like women my age to women younger than me. Because all coming up, I only dated women my like it was even a turnoff if a girl was younger than me when I was younger, like in high school or something. Like, and if the girl was younger than me, it was really just kind of a turnoff for some reason. Like it felt like I was like taking advantage of them or something. So like I didn't even start dating women or even like considering fucking girls who were younger than me, like since I was in college. It's like because and you know what's crazy? Because see, to my knowledge, this was before all this whole MGTOW and red pill and all this shit took off. Like my instincts personally was telling me that something was wrong with older women. Like if the woman was like my age and older, it's like something was telling me like something's wrong with her. But I see, like I said, like back then, I don't think YouTube wasn't even like a big thing back then. Like Google wasn't like a big thing like it is now. So like I didn't have any way to really like Google like are older bitches fucked up? Like and then see MGTOW pop up and all this shit. Like I didn't have any of this shit. So that's why I'm like when I say like the MGTOW red pill shit, like I'm not the type of guy who I was the type of guy who went out and learned this shit on my own and then came back and then end up finding that this whole population of men already knew all this shit, and my dumb ass went out in the world and found it out the hard way on my own. But yeah, man, like because I remember I had a Valentine's Day date with this girl. She was 36 back then, and she was beautiful. She was a beautiful fucking girl too. She was one of them, man. Like I remember the first time I seen her in heels and a dress, I didn't even recognize her. It was like some movie star shit. Um, Oh, yeah, man. I didn't date women younger than me till right around 25. It was right around 25 that's when that whole like I said, most times I think 30, the ages of 30 is where the power shift usually happens for the bulk or the majority of guys. But I think it really starts like the wall for women and that whole shift in power. It really starts around 25 for the ones that aren't in a long term relationship and trying to lock down a guy and get married and have kids. That's when the power shift really fucking happens. Um, because there's just like, see, I was reading an article, man, where women and it's really so funny to try to watch women try to understand like reality. Like it's really just like a fucking comedy show because their brains just don't get it. They're just used to just being entitled because they have a vagina to getting attention and somebody wanting to buy them something or somebody texting them 50 minutes, 50 times a minute. They're just so entitled. Like watching a woman's brain try to acknowledge reality is just a fucking comedy show in itself. And this one was trying to understand like why do 40-year-old men not date 40-year-old? Okay, if a 40-year-old man supposedly has his act together, meaning like he's financially stable, he's well educated, well traveled, well spoken, and he's adventurous and has any bit of courage and self esteem. Most of those 40-year-old men don't date 40-year-old women, and her brain just could not. It just couldn't understand it. Like it was like trying to learn Mandarin with the mentality of a 4-year-old. Like her brain just couldn't, or I'll say of a 9-year-old. Like her brain just couldn't fucking. It just could not compute it. Like, and you're watching it and you like read the article and it's like watching a fucking gnat fly towards that fucking what's that light thing that fucking like kills insects and you just watching it like you dumb motherfucker you flying right like how dumb are you like it is really funny man it is really truly a comedy show to just listen to them talk about reality about reality like they just don't fucking understand they can't like it's not their nature to they were never made to do that but they're trying to fight nature and that's the funny part so women who like they pretty much like women already know like on online dating most men with any self-confidence self-esteem they pretty much cut the age range off. Usually, I'd say if he's younger at 27, if he's older, it's usually cut off at about 35, man. Even for like 60-year-old men that fit that criteria. Like I said, well traveled, well educated, doing everything, blah blah blah. Self esteem. He's like there's no fucking place for like women pretty much older. I say older than 35. There's just not much there's not much place for that in the dating market. Like you need to be raising some kids somewhere. See what I'm saying? Like, and I naturally it's like, but the reason why I'm going on about it is I had to and I think I'm even a little proud of myself because my dumb ass I had to learn it in the world. And I still remember I was dating Jane because that's a common name. You ain't gonna never find Jane, but if she sees this video, she's gonna be mad because I end up dumping her. But it was weird because she was fucking like hot as fuck. So it was weird. Like I ended up dumping her, but I dumped her, man, because she's 30. She was 36 at the time. So now she's 40. Damn. She's like 40. She's in her early 40s now. And I feel sorry for her too, because I could tell, because like I said, I met her in college, but I could tell she was really one of those types of women, like, because I think she had a daughter. She was 36, but she was sexy as fuck, man. I would have fucked her. And I met her baby's father. Her baby's father, and I'll be honest with you, I ain't even gonna hate on him. I mean, I can't hate on him. When I met him, he was a very he was very okay. Pretty much everything I just said before, exactly that's what happened to her. But he was older, so he already knew what the game was. I was like fresh and coming up. Her baby's father was a well dressed, well presented man. He seemed to be well educated. Pretty much everything I said. And what did he do? He left that bitch and went on somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? Because that's just what it is. There's after 35, 36, there's just no there because see, these are the years of men see all that all that prime time that the women had between 16 and 25, see, men don't really hit that shit full stride until about, I say about 35 and up. Like, I still ain't hit it full stride. I hit it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I totally hit it, but I still haven't hit it like 100% full stride. I'm probably about at like 65%. Like, I know what I am. I got standards. I've dumped more bitches than I probably ever take home. Than I get, I dump more than I accept at this point. But I'm still not like all the way in it. Like him, for instance. Like, he was all the way in the game and knew what he wasn't on some sucker shit. And then I knew another guy, his name was LaRue. He was this tall black dude. Now he was still on some sucker shit. Like, he was a well-educated man too, older, but he was still a sucker. He was still that blue pill beta type dude, but he was trying to pretend he wasn't. Like, I mean, like, life is a journey, man. Like, it really is. Life is like a journey. But like I said, I am kind of mad that I wasn't made aware of all this. But I mean, now I am. But like, I'm mad, like, because I had to go out there and really fucking learn it. Like I said, man, like and like I said, I ended up dumping Jane, and Jane was hot too, and I ended up dumping her. Like, it's because something in my inner being told me, like, man, she's fucking old, man. Something's wrong with her. He says, and this is what other women don't. This is what women don't realize in the dating market when they get older is like, okay, if a woman has never been married, and I'd say doesn't have kids. Okay, first off, there's just no positive way out of a woman being single over 35. There's just no way you can even rationalize that to make it sound good, okay? Because for whatever reason, she was fucked up because, like I said, those were her prime years. That was when all she had to do was walk outside and just be herself, and she was at the top of the game. So you mean to tell me you walked out there and all you had to do was go out there and stand up, and nobody wanted you? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is why it's much worse when women end up single at 35 and up and have never been married, never been engaged to be married, and never had a kid. That means she was so fucked up. Guys couldn't even stay around longer than 2 weeks, consecutively. But see, when a guy and this is the part that women don't understand. It's like, well, how come guys don't want me? Why? Well, how come I can't find dates? Why is it so hard for me to date? Well, because you walking in the game a big ass red flag just by being what you are now. But what they were, that was a green light for what they were, but they not that anymore. Now, the difference is, see, men, we just aren't worth nothing at 18, 19, 20. Unless we come from a rich family, or our family, like I said, our family owns something or does something. That's about the only thing that makes us worth anything. And I even know some 20-year-old dudes who's in that exact position right now, and they got bitches. And that's why they got bitches. It's because their family is doing something. And the bitch sees that and see, oh, I get protection out of that shit, and she'll crawl up under him. But okay, it's more acceptable. Now, I have been married. The reason why it's more acceptable for a man to not be married and be single at 35, 40 is because, like I said, we don't hit our stride of even being like naturally desirable until we get, well-aged, well-traveled, well-educated, well-experienced. And that just comes with time. So by the time we hit 33, 34, 35, that's when we're just becoming, the thing women go, who is that? Ooh, girl, who was that? Who's that over there with the brown shoes on? Yeah, yeah. See, we don't hit that till we start hitting early 30s. So by the time, let's say let's say I was desperate enough to date a woman my own age, if I was that desperate. By the time I date a woman who's 33, she is coming down. Her life is coming to an end, right? Now, and my life is coming up. And we kind of meeting like right at the middle, like Benjamin Button. Hey, I don't know if you seen Benjamin Button when Benjamin Button was aging backwards, and the bitch he was aging, she was getting older, and they went, oh yeah, we're meeting in the middle now. And then Benjamin Button, okay, for real, okay, Benjamin Button is pretty much, as far as desirability goes, that is pretty much the exact way it happens in the dating market. Like, because Benjamin Button, ain't nobody want Benjamin Button when he was old and fucked up as a 2-year-old, and he was 9 years old on a fucking cane. That's don't nobody fucking want him. When was he worth something? When, what I'm saying, right when he hit about 30, 35, and he, what I'm saying? So for him, since he aged backwards, yeah, he's probably about 30, 35 in reality. And the bitch she was hitting 30, 35, but she was going down. You see, because she was young and beautiful all the time. Benjamin Button, even though it's some bullshit fiction, there's a lot of reality in that dynamic in the dating market. So if you get a chance, I would say, I'm gonna go back and watch Benjamin Button now since I'm thinking about it, and watch it. Like, the only difference was he was old as fuck when he was young. But other than that, man, like, for what men are wanted for, that's pretty much the exact dynamic between men and women.